Okay, we're picking up in the middle of this problem where we left it last time. We set up the two equations. Here, let me get a different colored pen so we can mark on this. We set up two equations using the small triangle. We started with tangent of the 51 degrees, 20 minutes equals h over x. And then we came over here with the larger triangle, tangent of the 26 degrees, 10 minutes equals h over the entire adjacent side, x plus 99. We cross-multiplied both equations so that we could get them equivalent to x. On this one, we had to distribute, so we distributed the x and the 99, but we had them equal to h. Since they're both equal to h, set them equal to each other. Now, what I'm going to do is, I was going to move kind of quickly there, but let's just take it slow since we got a little bit extra time now. Our goal is to get the two, don't need to write with an eraser. Get the two terms with x's on the same side. So this term right here needs to move over. He's just basically going to change to a negative when you do. This term just sits over here and waits patiently until you need to do something with it. Now, you have got to get it down to 1x, so factor it out. Tangent 51 degrees, 20 minutes, minus tangent 26 degrees, 10 minutes, equals, same thing, just keep copying him. Now, what you need to do, since all of this is numeric, you're going to divide both sides by that value. I just particularly don't want to write that again. But we'll get it one last time to make sure you know what you're typing in your calculator. And it's going to be a mess, guys. Typing this in your little calculator is going to be a doozy. If you're not using a graphing calculator, hang on to your halo. You're going for a ride. You have got to make sure that you have grouping symbols in the right place, because you need to tell your calculator to group all of this. And I'm putting brackets, but your calculator, you need to put parentheses. You will just have another set of parentheses. Same thing down here. You're going to have to tell it, hey, let's group all this bottom. So it knows your numerator and it knows the denominator. What you have to watch for is the calculator is going to come in here, and every time you hit tangent, he's going to open up a set of parentheses for that. Here, let's change colors. He's going to say, hey, let's open up parentheses for your angle. So you have to remember to close your angle and then close the one for your numerator. Then you're going to hit your division sign and you're going to begin again. But once again, your calculator is going to say, hey, let's open up. You've got to remember to close, then hit subtraction. Then you're going to come over here and he's going to open it up. Now, it doesn't really matter. At the end, you can leave these two off if you want to. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let me see if I can get this typed in so we can find the answer to this. I need parentheses, 99, tangent, 26 plus 10 divided by 60. I've got to close it twice. Divided by, open, tangent, 51 plus 20 divided by 60, close it, minus tangent 26 plus 10 divided by 60, and I do not have to close. I got 64.14. Now here's the thing, that's not listed because I didn't find h, I found x. We need this lovely little equation right here, okay? So if you take this, and you don't even have to wipe it out of your calculator, you need to take the 64.14 and multiply it times the tangent, 51 degrees, 20 minutes. That gives you h. So just keep it in your calculator and say times tangent 51 plus 20 divided by 60. And that gives me h being 80.16. So there we go, B. That's the nastiest one that you guys have to do. So let's get to some easier stuff. Maybe y'all will calm down a little bit. So it says convert the angles to radians. When you convert to radians, you want your radians in the numerator. Okay. So If you do that, you need to reduce your fraction. The easiest thing is you need to master the skill of reducing fractions in your calculator. So do not type the pi, type 252 divided by 180, and then you need to, in your little baby calculator, learn how to do math enter enter. Because I know that's not the buttons, but you guys need to practice up and know how to reduce fractions in your calculator. So use the little card that came with your calculator explaining how to do that. All right, if you got 810, you're going to have to, you want radians. So once again, put pi in the top. Don't type the pi. Type 810 divided by 180. And by the way, this you could probably do in your head. Think about it. Isn't that 81 over, I mean, seriously, we've got 81 over 18. So you shouldn't even need a calculator for this one. The other one was kind of nasty. 9 goes into 81 9 times, and 9 goes into 18 2. So this is just 9 pi over 2. You can do that. Not a big deal. You can do it by hand. But, you know, you can use your calculator if you need to. So now this one says go 2 degrees. So you're going to take your little conversion ratio and you're going to invert it. We want 180 on top, pi on bottom. The beauty of that is your pi's cancel out. Now, you are more than welcome to just run everything through your calculator, or you can sit there and try to figure it out. If you just want to run it through, type -9 times 180, because we're multiplying straight across, and then divide by whatever's in the bottom, 8. So I got a -202.5. There we go. So let's see here, -53 pi over 18. Wow. So I'm still wanting to go to degrees. Once again, your pi's cancel out. Just multiply straight across. -53 times 180. Divide that by 18. And again, this one you probably could have done if you just take a second and think. You got an 18 sitting here and 180. Doesn't 18 go in there 10 times? That whole thing cancels out. 10 times that is going to be -530. So just a little bit of thought will get you that one. I agree, the other one was kind of nasty, but this one's not too bad. Okay. Here we go. It says convert the degree measure to radians. Convert to 4 decimal places. Now this, watch out. You need to change it to decimal degrees first. So first things first, type 27 plus 43 divided by 60. So I've got 27.71666. Okay, that's what's in there. Leave it in your lovely little calculator. Okay, you want to go to radians. So here we go. If you're going to radians, multiply times pi, because if you notice, all of your answer options are decimals. Okay, so say times pi, and divide that by 180. And they give you 0.4837. But don't round until the very end. Just let everything roll in your calculator. Okay, again, they give you a decimal. You know it's radians. They don't even have to tell you because there's just no notation on that. We talked about how to identify that in class. The degrees have to have the degree symbol. So if we want to go 2 degrees, 180 must be on top. Here we go, -5.5 times 180, enter, divided by pi. -315.13. So option A. Hopefully these aren't a big deal. Just make sure that whichever one you want to go to, that's the one you put on top. Okay, moving on to fun stuff. Find the exact circular function value. Remember when it says circular function, we're just working in radians. That's it. And if you just absolutely can't stand the radians, convert it to degrees, work your problem. And like in this one, I mean, your answer's just there. But it could be that you need to work your problem and convert back to radians. You wouldn't need to convert back on this one. All right, sine of -7 pi over 4. So let's just think. Negative, we're obviously going in the opposite direction. So here's 0, This would be pi over 2. This would be pi. Now 7 pi over 4. If 4 is in the bottom, 2 pi would be 8 pi over 4. So this would be a negative 8 pi over 4 if we made it all the way back over here. We didn't quite do that. So a negative 7 pi over 4 is right here. Now y'all were supposed to memorize pi over 4 is equivalent to, you're supposed to think 45 degrees. So if this is pi over 4, we got a 1. A 1. And the square root of 2, we're in quadrant 1, so nobody's negative. You need sine of that angle. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of negative 7 pi over 4 is 1 over square root of 2. It's going to be square root of 2 over 2. Because you got to rationalize. It will be positive since we're in first quadrant. Okay? Tangent 7 pi over 6. Now 7 pi over 6, you see the numerator is bigger than the denominator. That means we passed the whole mark. See, your denominator is 6. So 6 pi over 6 is sitting here. You went past that. You went over by 1. See, 7 pi over 6 is down here. You went over by pi over 6. Now, when we learned it, pi over 6, your brain needs to think 30 degrees. Okay? Opposite 30 degrees is 1. Square root of 3 is adjacent. 2 is hypotenuse. Now, don't leave it until you doctor. Left and negative. Now, it said tangent of that picture from this angle. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tangent 7 pi over 6 is opposite over adjacent. Okay, my negatives are going to go away, but I still got to rationalize. Square root of 3 over 3. There you go. All right, secant of negative 3 pi over 4. So you got two little whammies here. It is a negative angle, and it's also a reciprocal. My brain doesn't do secant. I'm going to work it as a cosine and then turn it over. Just don't forget to turn it over now. So let's think. Negative 3 pi over 4. This is 0. This is a negative pi over 2. And this is a negative 4 pi over 4. And I'm using that because my denominator is 4. Okay, well, he didn't quite get there because he's got a 3 pi over 4. So here we go. He missed it by pi over 4. Now, we've already talked about this. Pi over 4 is the same thing as 45 degrees. That's what you're thinking, 45 degrees. So we got a 1, we got a 1, square root of 2, left and down. But we're going to think about this like it's cosine of this angle. All right, if you did cosine of that angle, that's adjacent. So from here, the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Don't rationalize, don't waste your time. Because the question asked you for secant. Turn it upside down. Negative square root of 2. This was just giving us a frame of reference. Okay? Alrighty. One more. We got a circular pulley rotating about its center. Through how many radians would it turn in 8 rotations? It sounds horrid. But guys, all it's saying is you've got something circular and it's going through 8 rotations. You spin it through 8 full circles. Okay. If you go 8 full circles, isn't that 2 pi? That's how many radians is in 1 circle. So if you did 8 full circles, 16 pi. That's it. So you got to remember, for 1 circle, it's 2 pi. And then you can do as many as they want. All right, we'll pick it up with the next video.